Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal and welcome to the latest transfer news. In this one, we are going to be talking about Milinković-Savić, 27-year-old Lazio midfielder who's been in the reports today. This is a guy I've always wanted, especially the last 2 years. I know how good he is, and this is the kind of midfielder who would make a difference in your team. But we'll come to that. Let's see what the reports had to say first. As reported there, Arsenal have submitted an offer for 27-year-old Lazio ace, Serge Milinković Savic at around 55 million euros, which is around 47 million pounds. Lazio wants 60 million pounds to sell. So that is still short of the Lazio's valuation of him. So they can still easily reject it. But this is a very good midfielder. Milinković-Savić, last season he played 37 games. The previous season he played around 31. The previous one, 35. My point is he can play every single game for you. And that is just one of the first qualities that he has. But next, let's take a look at how good he is. How good was he last season compared to the other Serie A midfielders and players, not just midfielders, all the players in Serie A. Serge Milinković-Savić 2021-2022 Serie A season by numbers. 37 games, that's what the number of games he played. 744 final third passes, which ranked him first in the whole league. 257 duels won, that ranked him in third. 102 aerial duels won, that ranked him in sixth. He made 67 tackles, 52 chances created, 45 take-ons completed, 12 through balls, and most impressively, 11 goals and 11 assists, which ranked him in fourth. Now, as you can see there's a lot of attacking qualities and defensive qualities. Final third passes, 744. That's first in the whole entire league. That is good. That is very, very good. Duels won, he can actually win the battle with the midfielders. That is something you need in the Premier League. Aerial duels, another something that is very, very important, especially the tall midfielders in that. Very, very important. 52 chances created. He can take on players. He can dribble past players. Through balls, 12, maybe that's a bit on the low side, but that's not his first job on the pitch. This is a guy who, if you're playing a 4-2-3-1, he can play next to Thomas Partey in midfield. If you're playing a 4-3-3, he can play in Partey's position. He can also play in Partey's left side and also in Partey's right side. That is a huge, huge quality. And that is what I've seen Arteta and Edu targeting this season and last season as well. Players who can play various positions, which can really, really help you. He can help you defensively. He can help you attacking-wise. And those numbers are really, really good. And in addition to that, the number of games he plays, he rarely misses games for Lazio. He's been there since around 2015. Before that, he was in Genk in Belgium, and he's a very good midfielder. Now, I've seen a lot of people saying if he was a good midfielder, Juventus and the likes of Napoli, they've already taken him. But Lazio is not a useless team. They're a very decent team as well. He's won the Coppa Italia there with them. He's decent, he's very decent, and he would change the midfield. A combination of him and Thomas Partey in that midfield, that would totally change our direction, fully change our direction. So according to the reports, Arsenal have submitted a 55 million euro bid, which obviously falls under the evaluation of him. They easily could reject it, but that would be a good signing. Another piece of news is that if we give them that 47 million pounds, there's talk about us giving them Torreira to go to the other side. So 47 million pounds plus Torreira. I don't know if it's that exact 47 million pounds, or we would lower that fee and then give them Torreira. But that would be good news. Like, I don't know about you, but I really don't care if Torreira leaves today or tomorrow. I really don't mind. Like, obviously, he was a good player for us in those first couple of seasons, but he doesn't want to be in England. He doesn't want to be at Arsenal. He just doesn't want to be in London. He's played for Sampdoria in Italy before he's played for Fiorentina. So that is a league he definitely knows. And that would be a league he would settle in very, very easily. So if you can give them 47 million for Milinković-Savić plus Torreira, and they accept it, that would be amazing business for us. I actually cannot wait. If we can get this deal done, that would be great. Now, will it affect, as many people have been asking and saying, will it affect the guy's deal, Tielemans' deal? For me, it shouldn't. As I've been saying the last 1 week, for me, I wouldn't go for Rafinha, I wouldn't go for Serge Gnabry. That's 65 million. I would try and get both of these players. If we were told we have 215 million to spend, we've spent it on Jesus, Fabio Vieira, and also Marquinhos, which means we have around 130 million remaining. That's 130 million. Personally, I'd go for two midfielders, Lisandro Martinez and a backup striker. Not an expensive backup striker. I'm not talking about Osimhen or any of those, Alexander Isak or any of those. I'm thinking about someone who just costs us 15 to 20 million pounds. Cheap on the plan B, a cheap plan B. And remember, you already have plan B in Ketia. So let's say plan C. When you're struggling in the game, maybe a tall striker to come and help you in the last 10 minutes. That is what I'd try and get in the team. And people like Pukki will not cost you a lot of money. His Premier League experience, he's played there for 2 years. And he's only there for a backup. He's not going to come in as your main striker. We already know Jesus has been signed as a main striker. Someone just come in and play as a backup. That is what I'd try and get. So around 20 million pounds. Pay the, I don't know, 40 million, 45 million for Lisandro Martinez. That would take that to around 65. Let's work with 15 million for the striker. So let's take it to 60 million and try and get Tielemans as well. Would cost us less than 30 million, maybe around 25 to 28. That's around 85 million around there. And after that, you have another 55 million to spend. Now, imagine you give them 47 million and Torreira, you still have another 8 million remaining on top of that with 4 new signings. Lisandro Martinez, Tielemans, Milinković-Savić, and a backup striker, I would be very ready for next season. I would be very ready next season. And remember, there are still players we're going to sell. I don't expect the many players we have at Arsenal right now, I expect a lot of them to leave. Like, expect that this July and August, there's a lot of players who are going to leave. Niles is still here. Bellerin is still here. Pablo Mari is still here. Holding is still here. Not sure if he's going to stay. Pepe, same. Xhaka, same. Tavares, same. If you add in the likes of Reece Nelson, could they go out on another loan spell? Like, there's a lot of players who could end up leaving. Bernd Leno, we could talk about 15 to 20 players. If you end up selling even 5 of them and getting around 40 million, you have another 47 million to spend on other players. Obviously, you don't want to sign 10 to 15 players. That is a whole entire overhaul. We needed 6 to 7 players. And right now, we've gotten 3. If you add the goalkeeper, Matt Turner, it's 4. But that would be great business. So Milinković-Savić and Tielemans would be good. So for me, it shouldn't affect that deal. For me, I'd be going for these 2 midfielders instead of a winger. Get 2 midfielders in with Thomas Partey, Elneny as backup, Lokonga as backup, and you can let the likes of Odegaard and Fabio Vieira do whatever they want on the pitch, knowing whether it's the first team or second team, these players are behind them. Next season, there's 5 subs allowed. Everyone needs to know that. And when you have players like Milinković-Savić starting and maybe have, I don't know, Xhaka, if he's still going to be here on the bench, you have Lokonga coming from the bench, Smith Rowe, Martinelli coming from the bench, maybe even Tierney or Lisandro Martinez coming from the bench. Your squad is great. Remember, we have Saliba and Ben White there. We have Cedric Steele. We have Tomias on that right side. You need to have a very, very strong bench. So for me, Milinković-Savić would be an amazing, amazing signing. Now, the qualities, remember the qualities we've talked about, attacking-wise, defensive-wise, very good. He can play in several positions in the midfield. He can score the goals. He can assist. 11 goals, 11 assists. When was the last? Now, there are players who get 20 goals and 2 assists, like a Calvert-Lewin at Everton. I remember a season where he had like 18 goals and 1 assist. That is okay. You're focusing on the goals. There's other players like Ozil when he was at Arsenal. He would get 5 goals and 20 assists. There's that balance. But someone who can get double figures for both, that is insane. That is why I was asking people, do you really think Saka is going to be on the bench, our best player, even if Rafinha comes in? Because Saka delivered 10 plus goals and 10 plus assists, and those are incredible numbers. Someone who can do both for you, that is rare to find. De Bruyne, I think, did that for Man City last season. He had a lot of goals and assists as well. Rarely, you don't get a lot of players who can do that. Salah is one of them who can get you goals and assists. So Milinković-Savić is a very interesting guy to have at Arsenal. That would sort out our entire midfield problem. Let me know if you know anything about him. Let me know if you'd want him at Arsenal. Let me know if you think he's overrated. Maybe the Serie A is overrated to you. You need someone who's Premier League experienced. I still would get Tielemans next to him, and my midfield will be Partey, this guy, and Tielemans. Now, depends which formation you're playing, but you need to be stacked. You need to be stacked. Next season, you're allowed 5 subs, and you have the Europa League. I think all 6 games before the World Cup. That's like in around 2 months. We'll play against the likes of Tottenham, Man United, Crystal Palace, all before the World Cup. So your squad needs to be really, really, really good. So that's the latest on Milinković-Savić, Lazio midfielder, 27 years of age. He is obviously going to be a really, really good buy if we can get it through the line. So that is Milinković-Savić. Today, we announced Gabriel Jesus. So if you want to take a look at how Arsenal could line up with Gabriel Jesus next season, click on the video on screen and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.